is Samsung season, y'all. And as of today, the S23 lineup has been officially announced. And I am super excited as I actually got some early hands-on time with the entire Galaxy S23 lineup, from the Galaxy S23 to the 23 Plus onto the Ultra. So with that, I want to talk about, my thoughts of these devices, everything that you should know, and also what's different in comparison to the previous models. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the design, from the color to how it felt in hand, because when I held these phones, they all to me have the classic premium feel that the Galaxy lineup tends to offer. You'll notice that the S23 Ultra comes in at the largest size with a 6.8-inch display, and the Galaxy S23 Plus with a 6.6-inch display, and the Galaxy S23 at the smallest size with a 6.1-inch display. Now there are some similarities amongst these devices that we're gonna discuss, but ultimately I like the feel of all of them. When it came to the Ultra, it didn't feel too large or, bulky in hand to the point that it was uncomfortable. You definitely notice its size, but it just, to me, adds to the experience. And something else you'll notice is when you look at the displays, which they actually changed just a little bit, because now it has a newly shaped curvature on the edge, which is going to create a larger flat surface area. But if you take a look at the S23 and the S23 Plus, you're going to notice that these devices have the flat displays. So I don't know, I like the flat displays, but I love the little curvature. Adds a unique touch, Now something else you'll notice with the design that's a little bit different is, how on the previous models they had this little cutout around the camera? Hopefully that came up good on camera. But if you take a look at the cameras on the new lineup, they've actually removed that kind of border around it. To me, the little border added a nice touch because it kind of, in essence, gave you some depth with color. But I will say, with the removal of that, the cameras up here do look a lot cleaner. Now the colors. This year we have black, cream, green, and lavender. I feel like old boy from the Wiz. The color is green. But I will say, in seeing these colors in person, my personal favorites were cream and green. The green is very unique, actually. I don't know, I like it. It's a unique color. It's not your typical average green, I'll say. But another color that I really liked up here was cream. It's kind of like an off-white, like a gray. Ladies, if you have heard of Bunny nail polish, it's like that. So it's like a cement color, like the color of a sidewalk. And if you notice, in terms of color options, it's the same across the board, regardless of the device. So no exclusive color based on the device you get, kind of thing. At least not right now. Samsung will bring out some colors real quick. But yeah, overall though, I do like the design of the S23 lineup. Alright, now we gotta talk about one of my favorite features outside of the display on Samsung Galaxy devices. The camera. So we have some improvements here. They are the same in a lot of different areas, though, I will say, across the board for these phones. You'll notice that they have differences in terms of the zoom capabilities, as well as some of the video capabilities. But feature-wise, we do have some new things that we haven't seen on the previous models. And one of those things being now having the option to take 200 megapixel photos. Now, on the previous models, the max you could get was 108. But with 200 megapixels, you can do things like actually get quality, good prints on canvas. So you can truly hang your pictures and the images look just as good as they do on your phone on your wall. The autofocus has also been improved with the Super Quad Pixel and 8K video. This is one thing I'm really excited about because I really loved the 8K capabilities on, the Galaxy devices, but it was always so cropped in on your face. But now we get a wider angle. So it's going from 67 degrees to 80 degrees at 30 frames per second. So now we can maximize our video quality, get a cinematic feel, and take advantage of a wider angle. I'm so here for that. The selfie camera, that also has some improvements. So now the selfie camera has a resolution of 12 megapixels, whereas in the previous models, it was 10 megapixels. So for you, that basically means, better quality photos, more clarity. And quick tip, if you pair your phone with the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, you can actually capture 360 audio. And some other improvements you'll see is more creative controls, which is really good for professionals or those that just want to take, more advantage of the pictures in which they're taking. Because now you can use things like the Expert RAW app, which was introduced on the Galaxy S22 series, and it's going to be found also on this lineup as well. And on top of that, you can now capture 50 megapixel RAW photos in comparison to the 12 megapixel option that you had on the S22 series. Night portraits are also supposed to be be better up here, as well as improved video stabilization. And of course, with it being Samsung, I'm sure there are a ton of other goodies inside that, you know, we can unpack once I have them in-house. So make sure you drop down any questions that you might have so that I can answer it in some upcoming videos. And also, while you're down there, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button, of course, if you feel inclined to. All right, now let's get into the software. Now, the S23 lineup is powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Gen Mobile 2 platform, which I actually did a video on a few months back, so I'm gonna drop that down below so you can check that out too. But ultimately, with it now having that, we're gonna see improvements across the board. So faster performance all around, from just handling your regular tasks onto intense gaming sessions. And another thing to the S23 lineup is routines and modes. So I'm really excited to test that out. I actually wanna do a follow-up video that I did to a Bixby video I've done in the past. So stay tuned for that, because I have some ideas for things that I want to cover on the Galaxy series, that being one of them. But basically now with modes and routines, you can create customized settings for different parts of your life, from sleeping to exercising, driving, working, relaxing, so that a series of events happens based on the, so to speak, recipe that you made. There's also now something called Bixby Text Call, which I do plan on testing. As in short, it does allow you to respond to incoming calls with a text. I gotta see what that looks like in action. All right, we gotta talk about the battery life, y'all. So of course, the Ultra is gonna give you the Ultra battery at 5,000 milliamps, whereas the S23 Plus comes with a 4,700 milliamp battery, and the S23 comes with a 3,900 milliamp battery. Now, when it comes to the storage, these are gonna be your options for memory and storage. So I feel like it's good entry points in my eyes, as you can get the base model with 128 gigabytes and be okay for the most part. It's doable to still have an enjoyable experience with that. Now, I'm not gonna go deep into this, but I will say, in addition to these devices, Samsung also announced their new Galaxy Book 3 Ultra, which is their newest premium PC. And they also announced the Galaxy Book 3 Pro 360, which is their more versatile option, as it features their 2-in-1 convertible form factor with S Pen capabilities. And then we have the Galaxy Book 3 Pro, which they're coining as their thinnest clamshell device in its class. Now, I do like what each model offers in terms of a connected experience, as you can do things like link Windows and Microsoft Phone. So if you're browsing a website on your phone, you can easily pick it up on your computer. But like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep in this video about them, but I am interested in getting some time with it. And if you're curious to know my thoughts of them, definitely let me know, because I would be a first-time user of those. So that'll be, I think, kind of interesting, a pretty cool experience. But pricing wise, this is what we're looking at. But yeah, the S23 lineup is looking good, and I am looking forward to having some, hands-on time with them in-house and basically see who these devices are best geared for. With that said, I'm gonna end it here, y'all. And as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out. P.S. You can also feel free to follow me on IG if you want some updates on how content is coming or just how I'm doing in general.